Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. Yeah, yeah. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me.
Here is your host for the evening, Joe M. Turner.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Happy New Year. It is 2022, and you're spending a night enjoying magic from the Magic Castle Virtual Magic Show. We have a fine show lined up for you this evening. Before we get started, I want you to make sure that you've got access to your phone and to 4 quarters. Your phone and 4 quarters will play a part in tonight's show at different places along the way. Let me tell you, being a magician for the last 20 years and change, I get asked a lot of questions. The number one question I get asked when people find out I'm a magician is, can you make something disappear? Can you make my wife disappear, my boss disappear, can a virus disappear? But people aren't thinking this through, because all these things disappearing have to go somewhere. Have you ever wondered where things go when they disappear? I think I figured it out. I think this is where they go. It doesn't look like much, but go with me on this. All those socks that you lost in the dryer, in here. All the last drink in the ice cooler, it's in here. Maybe I can prove it to you. Let me show you with this rubber ball. All I have to do is drop it in this hole, and strangely enough, it vanishes completely. But if I reach inside and rummage around just a bit, with some luck, I can find where it went. Let's try it again so you can see. As soon as I let go, it vanishes completely, not on side A, not on side B. I reach inside. It's not always in the same place. This time it's a little bit lower. A lot of people have theories. They start hypothesizing that perhaps the ball disappears at the instant that it goes into the hole. But if I pop it in there, you can see, I can see a lot of things. I can see people logging into Zoom. That's awesome. Watch carefully. As soon as it goes through the hole, it doesn't disappear. It's still on there. It doesn't vanish until I let go. When I let go, it disappears completely. But with any luck, I can reach inside there and find it again. And there you go. That is, wait a second. I think, oh yes, indeed. I found out where one of those drinks went from the cooler. There it is. And it's champagne, because it's Happy New Year to all of us. Thanks for being here at the Magic Castle virtual show tonight. I'm Joe Turner, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way down south, where you would be surprised how cold it actually is. But we've got a hot show for you tonight. I'm going to turn the camera around and jump into my other set. I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to realize that I'm here the whole time. And you are going to see something close up. Told you I wouldn't leave you. So watch carefully. I would like to share with you something now that is going to involve some people who have telephones with them. So if you've got your cell phone handy, hold it up on the screen so I see several people waving technology. Terry, I see you there. You're going to be involved. I'll ask you to come on in a minute. And I see, I think Cynthia, someone on Cynthia Damon's. There's several people there with phones. That's great. And then I see, looks like Barbara Bry has got her phone handy. So those are the people that I'll be asking to help me with this in just a moment. I'd like to talk to you about words. Sometimes when people get to the end of the year, you'll see in the news that they publish lists of new words that have been added to the dictionary, or words that have been used a lot in news coverage or in fiction or in magazines over the past year. And I made a list. I made a list of some of those words, and I'll show you. I put them on some cards here. So these aren't playing cards. These are words. All the magicians are laughing at that one. That's funny. Let's see. Here's negative. That's what we're all hoping to test. And hybrid. And so lanes. I don't know. We're changing lanes, adding lanes. So here's what we'll do. We'll mix these cards up so you can see that they are completely. You're not buying that, are you? Okay, they're completely mixed. And let's start with who was my first person? It was Terry. Terry, if I could ask Terry to be pinned with me, or spot lit, as the case may be. How you doing, Terry?
I'm good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm fantastic. I'm going to run my thumb down the side of the deck and you're going to call stop somewhere along the way.
Okay.
Remember, I'm doing this 3 times, so don't wait too long. And just for those paying attention, I'm going to turn over the top card so you see that it's not going anywhere. I'll just start now.
Stop.
At that spot right there. We'll
Yes, sir.
set those aside, turn this back over. And I think Cynthia was my next one. Cynthia, he's gone a little bit further down. If he'd gone one more, he would have been on hybrid. But if you'll just say stop somewhere, Cynthia.
Stop.
I'm sorry, I was a little bit faster.
Stop.
Right there. Very good. We'll set those down. And last but not least, who was where did she go? Barbara. Can I get Barbara?
Say something.
Hello.
Hi, Barbara. So
Hi.
here we go. Here's where she stopped right before savings. If you'll say stop anywhere, Barbara,
Stop.
right there. We'll cut right there. So these are some of the words that you could have chosen: culture or Karen. That's in quotation marks. That means some, I don't even know what the Chugi. I don't know what that even is, but immunity, align, health, ping. These are the cards that you could have had. You could have had these. You could have had any of these cards, metaverse, cook, but you stopped down there at heavy. You could have had any of these cards. We've got grudge and thrive and dizzy, but you've got added. And then you could have had any of these cards. We'll turn over some of these. So you can see we've got test or zest, excuse me, and gaff. That was kind of a gaff right there. And select, but instead you've got export. So 3 words. You know, we said sometimes words can define the time, but I was a physics major and I learned that time and space are really just 2 aspects of the same thing. And there's a website that we can use to sort of prove that. If you've got your phone handy, go to a website called what3words.com, then make a slash and put the words heavy dot added dot export after that. And you will find that What3Words is a website that converts the entire surface of the earth into 2-meter squares that are all identified by random English words. And on your phone, if you go to what3words.com/heavy.added.export, you will find that you're standing
It's too much hard on my phone.
at the front door of the Magic Castle.
You have to put the
I
words.
didn't.
You do have to put in the words. That's how that works.
I thought-
Fantastic. Heavy added export. Let's leave those there for a moment. Having been in quarantine for a while, and then in lockdown for a while after that, and then in various stages of in and out, as it were, you may have realized, just the same that as I have, that you've spent a lot of time with your partner. And you've gotten to know them a lot better than you ever thought you would. Maybe sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not such a great thing, but we'll try it out. I want to show you something I learned about my wife. Something I already knew, but I had it really emphasized to a high degree over the last couple of years. But let me tell you what I mean. Right here, I have a little tile puzzle. It doesn't look like much. It's gray tile, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares across, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares up and down. So those of us with advanced math degrees know that that is 63. So that is 63. And using this tile puzzle, I think I'll be able to show you something really interesting about my life. Let me just start by saying, I mean this in all respect. My wife is a gifted woman, but one of the things that I don't understand about her gifts is the woman can pack a dishwasher in like a superhuman way, where like there's more space on the inside than there seems to be on the outside. And let me show you what I mean. I remember one time, some time ago, she had asked me to load the dishwasher. So I put in all the dishes that I found and I managed to get the dishwasher perfectly packed. But as is often the case, the minute that you finish loading the dishwasher, out comes one more dish. I looked at the dishwasher, I looked at the dish, I said, it's no problem, Rosemary. I'll just take some of these out, run a little bit light of a load, and then we'll just run another load. It's no big deal. And she looked at me and said, Joe, don't be ridiculous. I'm not paying for the water for you to run another load of dishes in our dishwasher. Let me look and see what you've done. So she went and she started moving dishes around. And the next thing I knew, she had made room for the last dish. I looked at what she had done and I was really perplexed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up and down. It was still 63 and she'd fit the other dish inside. I made a mental note that maybe this should be something I remembered later. Sometime later, we went to visit her family for Christmas. And on the way home, you're getting ready to come home, you pack all the luggage, and I remembered what she had shown me. I packed all the luggage in the back of the minivan and I had it perfect. But as is often the case when you come home from your in-laws after Christmas, you come home with presents that they gave you that you didn't know you had. And now I was like, what am I going to do? I can't fit it. It's okay, Rosemary. We'll just stop at the post office on the way out of town. I'll ship the presents home. No big deal. She looked at me and said, Joe, don't be ridiculous. I'm not paying postage for you to ship a package home. Let me see the back of the van. And into the back of the van she went. She started moving boxes and suitcases and bags. And the next thing I knew, she had made room for those gifts. I was mystified by it because I looked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up and down. It was still 63. What's going on? I was a physic. What's going on? I made a mental note. I thought, this could be important later. A while later, we had the opportunity to go on a cruise where we were cruising around the Mediterranean, around the coast of Italy, and we had the best time. And it came time to go home, which is the saddest part of the cruise. But I was packing my suitcase and I had my suitcase packed and ready to go. But as is often the case, when you come home from a long trip, especially a nice cruise, you come home with souvenirs that you didn't plan for on the way out. I looked at my bag, I said, there's no way this is going to go in, but fear not, I'll just buy an extra suitcase. We'll check it, pay the baggage fee on the way home, and we have plenty of room for our souvenirs. She looked at me and said, Joe, in all these years, have you learned nothing? I'm not paying extra baggage fees for you to bring home your souvenirs. Let me see your suitcase. And into my suitcase she went, moving things around, shoes, shirts, laundry. The next thing I knew, she had made room for my souvenirs. And it was still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, still 63. My world was in pieces. I didn't understand what I had seen, but I thought about it. I thought about this woman and her amazing skill. And I thought about all the money that she had saved me on the dishes and the water bill. I thought about the money she had saved me on postage. I thought about the money she had saved me on suitcases and baggage fees. And with all that money she saved us, I was able to buy this tile puzzle so that I could show you all exactly how she did it. So give her a big round of applause. She is fantastic. I hope she's watching. I don't think she is watching. All right, I have time for one more quick thing, and then you're going to need to have your 4 quarters ready, and we're going to introduce our next act. But right now, I want to close with something really fun. So watch carefully as we go right back over to where we were moments ago. For what may be my favorite piece of magic that I've had the opportunity to do in virtual land. And I share this because it's important to me. I remember the first time I saw something so magical done with something so simple. There's something truly magical inside this little red cardboard box, held together with a little rubber band. What could possibly be so magical inside this box that Joe wants to show us tonight? It's just more cardboard boxes. These are little match boxes, the kitchen match kind with the cartons on the outside and the trays on the inside. I'll hold them so that they look like a little telescope. I can see you right in there. I remember the first time I saw someone do anything remotely interesting with these little pieces of cardboard. He held them tightly and put one in one side. And as he put the other one in the other side, something unexpected happened. I told you I was a physics major. As soon as I saw that, I started to think, well, he's holding these so delicately. Maybe there's some kind of sealant or lubricant on there that makes them stick together, and it makes the air pressure such that one will move the other out. That seemed like a good explanation until he took them apart. And it happened again. Now, I'll tell you, at this point, I was what my grandmother would call bumfuzzled. But I got even more disturbed when he did it off axis. I remember thinking about this as I saw it, and I watched as the right went down and the left went up. And the left went down and the right went up. And no matter what happened to one, it always seemed to have an effect on the other. And I thought about what I had seen and how maybe this didn't apply just to little cardboard boxes, but it applied to us as well. In that maybe we're all interconnected in ways that we cannot see or understand. And yet we all have to live together in the same little box. That's a pleasant thought. My name's Joe Turner. It's been fun doing some magic for you, but now it's my pleasure to introduce our next performer. She comes to the art of magic with a background in film and television as a costume designer and stylist. Everything she performs reflects her commitment to unique design. In addition to her live performances at venues such as Marvin's Magic Theater, the Chicago Magic Lounge, Monday Night Magic in New York, her amazing virtual performances have broken the barrier of the screen to create human connection and spark joy, which you get to experience now. So here now to share some of her mind reading with Moxie, please welcome Lindsey Noel.
Oh, yeah. That's not Lindsey Noel. That was a fake out.
There we go.
Hello, welcome, hi. I am so excited to be here with all of your beautiful faces. Hello, Julie and Terry and Barbara and Joe and Amanda and Steve and Carol and Jonah and Paul and Megan and Piper and Richard and Cynthia. Hi, this is so fantastic. I am coming to you live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in my own home television studio. That's right, television studio in my Philadelphia row home, which is all of 14 feet wide, but we make it work. This is the set for a show that I decided to make over winter called Magic Storytime. We do it live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. EST on twitch.tv/Magic Storytime. We read a story, we hang out with an awesome puppet named Merle the Literate Monster. This is actually his living room. He's not here tonight because he said if I am not reading a story, he's not coming. So it is just me, Lindsey Noel. But we have this beautiful set of Merle the Literate Monster's house, and I thought it would be really cool to share it with all of you. And all of that is just a long way to tell you that I have a deep, deep love of a really good story. And one of the best stories that I know is actually my own origin story, taking it way, way, way back to 1985, the night my mother had me. For those of you that don't know, my birthday is on Christmas Day, so that means my mom went into labor at the stroke of midnight on Christmas Eve. Picture this, the year is 1985. My parents are having their traditional big Christmas Eve party when all of a sudden my mom goes into labor. Chaos ensues. Everyone's trying to figure out what to do. My dad is very calm and collected, of course. He grabs the hospital bag. He's ready to have the firstborn. He steps to the front door. They fling the front door open, and right there in front of them is this incredibly old woman with a twinkle of determination in her eye. And she reaches out a bony hand and she says, "Barbara, upon the eve of your daughter's 14th birthday, I want you to give her this." She hands this envelope to my mother, and drops dead right on the front steps. My parents obviously step over her and rush to the hospital in order to have me. I know that sounds kind of cold, and it was cold. It was December in 1985. It wasn't nearly as warm as December is now. But on top of that, when I say this woman was old, I am talking Guinness World Record old. It was definitely her time. It's okay. Obviously, old life makes way for new life. So my parents go to the hospital. I am born 12 hours later. Here I am, Lindsey Noel. Fast forward 14 years. It's Christmas Eve. The stroke of midnight hits, and my mother hands me this envelope. She tells me the story I just shared with you. And I say, Mom, what's in the envelope? And she goes, well, Lindsey, open it. And I open it. And inside that envelope is a concert ticket to see Fleetwood Mac at the Fabulous Forum in Los Angeles. And the year is 1979. Now, I wasn't born yet in 1979, and that's going to sound really strange for this next thing I'm about to tell you, which is that I can still remember it like it was yesterday. It was incredible. Even every opening act was amazing. I don't even like Fleetwood Mac that much, and they put on such an amazing show. I feel like the memory is so clear, but I'm having a really, really hard time remembering what the exact month and day it was. It must have been, oh, this is amazing. I think Debbie Belkin, you were at this concert. It's so weird. I know, I'm sorry to bring tell people about this right now, but Debbie, you were at this concert with me. I know, I feel you've got a better memory than I do. What was the month and date of the concert in 1979?
June 27th.
June 27th. Oh my, how could I forget? It was the start of summer. We were sweaty, but no one cared because the energy was just absolutely electric. Debbie, thank you so much. June 27th, 1979. Honestly, I don't even like Fleetwood Mac that much, but it was just such an amazing show. All right, I'm sorry. You didn't come here for stories. You came here for magic. So enough about my birthday and Fleetwood Mac. Honestly, I couldn't even name a Fleetwood Mac song if I tried. I had a piece I was going to start this set with. But last night, as I was going to bed, inspiration struck me like a ton of bricks. And I thought to myself, no, this is the piece you need to share. So I'm about to show you something, a classic piece of magic, perhaps one you've even seen before. But I'm going to do it to a piece of poetry that is entirely original, 100% me. All right, I'm just going to get into it. Listen to the wind blow. Watch the sunrise. Run in the shadows. Damn your love. Damn your lies. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying, you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying, you can never break the chain. Listen to the wind blow. Down comes the night. Run in the shadows. Damn your love, damn your lies. Break the silence. Damn the dark, damn the light. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying, you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying, that you can never break the chain. Thank you so much. I love that classical piece of magic, to be honest. But you know, it's funny. I started telling you about this concert, and now I really just kind of can't stop thinking about it. Gosh, the opening band, the first opening band, they were so good. Everybody was dancing. They were tearing up the stage, and I feel like the name of this band, it's absolutely on the tip of my tongue. But you know, oh, Terry, you were there too. Terry, oh my gosh. Yeah, and again, I'm so sorry to do this, but I remember you were actually there to see that opening band. They were the reason you came to this Fleetwood Mac show in '79. Terry, please, I'm so embarrassed about my memory here, but what was the first band?
What was the first what?
Yeah, the first band that started
band?
the Fleetwood Mac show.
The Black Angels.
The Black Angels. Oh my, how could I forget? The riffs they were playing were so sweet. It was like some serious power rock was happening. I was floored. Terry, I know that we talked after that show in the parking lot, and you just couldn't even believe that they were as good as they were. We kind of had an argument about who was the best band that night, and you still stuck with the Black Angels, and I respect that. Amazing. Gosh, I love the way that a really, really good show can bring people together. You know, you go to a concert and there's this energy. You're all experiencing this thing together, and everyone comes out of it a little bit different. So I'd like to do something now that we can all experience together, to have our experiences intersect in a beautiful little coincidence here. So as Joe mentioned, if you have those 4 quarters, now is the time to bring them out so you can play along at home. Take those 4 quarters and put them on a surface in front of you. It can be a table, it could be the floor, it can be a pillow, it could be a kindly person you're watching with back that doesn't mind bending over for however long this is gonna take. Whatever works for you. Once you have your surface set, what I want you to do is take your 4 coins. You're going to place them in a line, heads up. So 4 quarters in a row, all facing heads up. Now, in a moment, I'm going to have you make 5 moves. And in this case, 1 move equals flipping over a coin 1 time. Everyone got it? Awesome. All right. Now, I'm going to have you make 5 moves. So for instance, you could turn over each of the 4 quarters 1 time and then turn over one of those quarters once more. You could turn over the same quarter 5 times in a row. But what I recommend doing is to go ahead and let your hands do the walking without really thinking about it. So go ahead, let your hands do the work, and you focus on counting the moves. Make 5 moves now. Excellent. Now, I want you to look at your results there. If you have 1 coin that is facing a different direction, push it out of the line. We're not going to use it. If you have 2 coins that are facing a different direction, push them both away. But if all of your coins are facing the same way, do nothing. However many coins you've got left there in front of you, I want you to do the same thing again. That's right. We're going to make 5 moves. Go ahead and make those 5 moves now. Fantastic. Look carefully at your coins one more time. Again, if you have 1 coin that's an odd coin facing a different direction, get rid of it. If you have 2 coins that are different, get rid of them both. Now, if they're all facing the same way, you're going to just keep going. All right. It's time to do that once more. Make 5 moves. At this point, you might have to flip a coin more than once. That's okay. Go ahead and make those 5 moves now. All right, now whatever you've got left in your row there, if there's a coin showing ahead, get rid of it. And whatever you have left there now, go ahead and cover it with your hand really fast. All right. Now, while you have your hand over whatever is left, I want you to focus on the seemingly random choices that brought you to this point today. Not even just with the quarters. No, I want you to think about the fact that you made the choice to find the magic castle. And once you made the choice to find the magic castle, you made the choice to attend the virtual show. And once you made the choice to attend the virtual show, you may have made the choice to get 4 quarters. And then you made a series of choices that led you to however many coins it is you have under your hand right now. Or should I say coin? Because there is only 1 coin left under your hand. And in a moment, if you lift up your hand, you will see that that 1 coin is indeed on tails. A series of beautiful coincidences coming together for us to share an exceptionally magic moment. All right, I love the way that totally random choices work out like that. It's almost like sometimes our random choices lead us to a place that we need to be. Because, you know, it's funny. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. We also, we had Julie, you were at this show also. You and I, oh my gosh, Julie, you and I were having a heck of a time. We were dancing our little butts off to the second band. They were so great. They were, I almost forgot we were there to see Fleetwood Mac. We were dancing so hard. Julie, what was the second band?
Jackson Brown.
Jackson, oh my God, that's why. Of course we were dancing. It was Jackson Brown. And what a show. What a show. Julie, do you remember we were dancing in the aisle and then the usher came over and yelled at us and was like, you can't dance in the aisles. And we were like, well, where do we dance? And the guy goes, oh, you got to dance in your seat. So we go back to our seat and we're dancing and we're having the best time. Everybody's dancing. In fact, the guy behind us dancing so hard spills his drink on us. We turn around to say something and we're like, what? Jimi Hendrix? What are you doing here? And he's like, obviously I couldn't miss this lineup. And we were like, but we thought you were dead. And he said, this show is giving me life. And we all just had it was wow. Wow. I'm so glad you remember Jackson Brown, Julie, because otherwise I feel like I would have not even shared that wonderful story with all of you right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Wow. What a show. The Black Angels, Jackson Brown, and Fleetwood Mac. Takes me right back to June 27th, 1979, I'll tell you. All right. We have talked so much about random circumstances and all of that. So I want to kind of bring in someone who wasn't at this show. I just love how coincidentally so many of you folks happened to be at the show that night. What are the chances, right? But I want to include somebody who wasn't at that show in this last part. So I'm going to need one final random person to answer one final random question. And Joe, would you mind being our random person?
Sure.
Awesome. So Joe, now I know that you were not at this show. So we're not going to ask you a question about the show. We're going to ask you a question, just a random question. Let's do numbers. Let's give you a random range of numbers. Give me any number between 37 and 137. Just wanted to give you prime choices.
Let's go with 61.
61. All right. And we didn't talk before the show. We've never met before. You weren't at that concert. So like, this is our first time meeting. I didn't ask you to say 61.
Nope.
There's enough magicians here. They know that I have to do this. All right. Now, Joe, you said 61. Now, had I called on Cynthia, what number would you have said?
72.
70. You would have said 72. So which is close to 61, but it's not 61. And Megan and Piper, if we had chosen you, what number would you have picked?
Yeah, we're working on it. Okay.
It's okay. What number would you have picked?
31.
31, which wasn't a choice, but honestly, I like when people think outside of the box. So you would have, there's no way you would have said 61. And Amanda, had we called on you, what would you have said?
Hi. I would have picked 100.
100. And so my point is that no one has said the number 61 other than Joe. And what were the chances that I was going to pick Joe? What were the chances Joe was going to say 71? All of these things are seemingly random. What are they? Right? Because we didn't know that Joe was going to say 61, did we? No. And there's no way that we could have known. Oh, I lost a number there. Hold on one second. Let's see. This first one is the number 13. Put that right there. And let me go grab this other number that fell down. We have the number 18. I'll put that there. But like I was saying, there was no way we could have known that Debbie would have said June 27th, right? We didn't plan for that. And oh, here we have the number 22. Oh, 22, there we go. And we have the number 8. All right. And I definitely didn't coordinate with Terry. I mean, well, we talked at that concert, obviously, which he remembers. But, I mean, you know, if Terry hadn't been here and reminded me about the Black Angels, I might have even forgotten that they were at that show. But luckily, we had someone in the audience who recalled it. Now we have here, let's see, we have the number 23 and 7. And we have the number 14 as well as 17. 14 and 17. There we go. And as I said before, had Julie not been in the audience to remind us of that awesome, awesome performance by Jackson Browne, I would have forgotten to tell you our story about dancing in the aisles and, you know, the Jimi Hendrix thing where he came back from the dead to see a show that was so good he just couldn't miss it. It really says something about how good that lineup was. We have here the number 10 and 24 and 16 and 11. You're probably wondering what this is. This is a lattice of coincidence generator, which brings us to the final random, number 15, the final seemingly random incidents of tonight, which is when Joe said the number 61. All of these things that seem so unconnected, it turns out that they have a lot more in common than you would think. Let's see, 12 and 9 and 25. There's a lot of different words for what I'm talking about here. Some people would call it synchronicity. Other people refer to it as I Ching. Some consider it magical thinking, where you think magically and then suddenly the right things just all sort of intersect at the right time. But my favorite theory to describe this sort of thing happening is from the 1984 punk rock classic Repo Man and the philosopher Miller, who referred to what is happening right now as the lattice of coincidence. Because, Joe, I had no way of knowing you would pick the number 61, right? Sorry, we're going to get into a little math now. I'm a definite nerd here. But let's go across these top numbers. 15 plus 12 is 27, plus 9 is 36, plus 25 is 61. And we have 15 plus 10 is 25, plus 23 is 48, plus 13 is also 61. You have 11 plus 16 is 27, plus 24 is 51, plus 10 is also 61. It works with the corners too. 25 plus 15 is 40, plus 13 plus 8 is 21. 21 plus 40 gives you 61. It goes diagonally. 15 plus 24 is 39, plus 14 is 53, plus 8 is also 61. Any which way you want to do it, feel free to get your calculator out and mess around with it. You can group these four together. You can go diagonally. You can go down. You can go up. You can go across. You can go backwards, sideways, every which way. And you will get the perfect coincidence of the number 61. Which reminds me, I forgot to show you this ticket. This ticket that has been here the whole time. The proof, the pudding, if you will. This ticket I have for this concert from June 27th, 1979, with the Black Angels and Jackson Browne opening for Fleetwood Mac. Oh, take me back. Well, I feel like I've got to show you the proof. I'm going to get rid of this overlay real quick. Let me just, whoop, there we go. All right. I'm going to just pull it. I'm just going to, you can never break the chain, so I'm just going to unclip it. Bring it up so that you can see. There is the ticket. All right. Here we go. There you have it, folks. Fleetwood Mac at the Fabulous Forum with special guests, the Black Angels and Jackson Browne, June 27th, 1979. But wait, what seat number is that? What's that seat number? 61? Seat number 61, a perfect lattice of coincidence. This was amazing. Thank you all so much for being part of this intersection of experiences. Thank you for letting me share my stories with you, and hopefully you get to walk away from this with a good story to share with someone else. I'm Lindsey Noel. Have a wonderful new year. Happy 2020, everybody.
All right, that was fantastic, Lindsey. Thank you so much for that. You may have noticed that I added another piece to my ensemble. I wanted to pretend that we were all together. So I added an accessory. As long as we're here, I need to take just a moment while they make some technical adjustments. I see Steve Valero. Steve, how are you? Could I ask you to unmute for just a second?
Yes,
Steve, do you play cards?
I do play cards.
Oh gosh, are you good?
No.
That sounds, in this deck, I have red cards and black cards. Should we look for a red card or a black one?
I'm leaning towards black right now.
Black. And who's that next to you?
My wife, Christine.
Christine, the black cards are the clubs and the spades. Are we looking for a club or a spade?
I'd say let's go to the club.
Go with the clubs. Fantastic. Let's go to, looks like Carol Matthews. Carol, could I ask you to unmute?
Hello.
Hi, Carol. They chose black and a club. Which club should we look for?
9.
The 9 of clubs. Would you agree that there is no way that we could have known that the three of you together would choose a black card, a club, the 9 of clubs? That's totally random. I want you to take a look. That would be crazy. I wish I could do that. That's the Joker. It's a wild card. It's not the 9 of clubs, but it's close. It would count. But you see, if that had really been the 9 of clubs, that would make me a mentalist and not a magician, because that would have been a prediction. But instead of a prediction, we'll just change the Joker to the 9 of clubs. Oh, hey, give yourselves a big round of applause. My next, well, I have the pleasure of introducing our next performer. He has been impressing audiences literally around the world for over 20 years. Now, listen, between entertaining your top corporate types, performing for the highest echelons of our government at 2 different presidential inaugurations, and fooling Penn and Teller, in between all of that, he somehow manages to be one of the leading creators of custom magic for film, theater, and television projects. No less than Teller himself has called this person and said that he represents the future of magic. So please welcome the future of magic, my very innovative and intelligent friend, Francis Menotti.
You got to unmute yourself.
Try that again. You know what? Stream Deck doesn't always do what you want. How about now? Thanks so much for being here, everyone. How awesome was Lindsey? I may be a little bit biased, you know, being my life partner and all, but tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to play a little game of assumptions. Now, in everyday life, you don't want to have assumptions about anything, the people, places, or things, really. But in a magic show, you have to have assumptions. Otherwise, well, there's no magic, right? So, for example, if you don't assume we have object permanence, you won't be impressed when something appears or disappears, right? Likewise, if you don't have the assumption of gravity, we won't be impressed when something floats. So we're going to play a little game of assumptions with something right here, a box. And I'm just going to ask someone out here to, actually, you know what? Let's just go right to Steve Valero. If you would go ahead and unmute yourself for a second, please, Steve. And the nice person with you, either one of you can make an assumption. In fact, both of you can. What might you assume would be in a small wooden box about this size and about this shape belonging to a magician?
Matches.
Matches, love it, and that's a good callback to Joe earlier with the match boxes. And what is your name, Miss?
Christine.
Christine, thank you, Christine, for that. And Steve, I presume, what would you assume might be inside this box?
I was assuming a rabbit's foot.
A rabbit's foot. You know what? We have Herman back there. He actually still has both of his feet. And you'll notice there's, of course, paintings of rabbits around here as well. So, you know, it's kind of a magician thing. And those are both valid guesses, valid assumptions. Neither of them are exactly what's in the box, but I didn't ask you to be correct. I asked you to assume. In this case, we're doing a magic show. So the assumption from some of you might have would be a pack of cards. And that is, I don't know if you can see it here or not, it's a pack of cards, not necessarily a full one, also not much of a surprise. But we'll get rid of this for right now. I'll come back to that box in a little bit, but it's going to stay in view the entire set. You just, once in a while, I'll probably ask someone just to make sure the box hasn't moved. I'm not going to cut away or do anything like that. That box will be important in a little while. But this is a pack of cards, and in fact, it's a pack of cards that happens to be in new deck order. So as magicians, we tend to spend a lot of time with playing cards. In the last couple of years, I've spent an inordinate amount of time with a pack of playing cards. So much so that I've gotten to know how cards think. Cards prefer to be kind of in an orderly state of tranquility, sort of, they're at one with themselves, if you will. Like this is a new deck order right now. So you have the ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of the cards, the hearts, the clubs, the diamonds, the spades. And when the cards are in order, my thoughts are in order. So right now, you can understand what I'm saying, because there's a symbiotic relationship between my brain and the cards. Like I said, I spent a lot of time with cards lately, so this connection poses a problem. If I were to shuffle these cards, my words mixed up become a little. Shuffle a more bit and words my become confused more even. Imagine can you now, shuffle and keep, if I understand when able you be to anything. I digress, but Cynthia et al., please stop, say.
Stop.
Excellent. Card to the remember. Down the face now, pocket the card for I'll put. You think. Set as before, I 2 cards orderly of prefer in be state and tranquility, plus words the cards and my if order and were. Much would determine it be card to missing was easier which. Would it? Therefore, concentrate I, if enough hard, I force can my words back into order. If I concentrate hard enough, I can force my words back into order, which means if my words are in order, my thoughts are in order. If my thoughts are in order, well, the cards should be in order, right? Because that connection between my brain and the cards, I said they prefer to be in this normal, this orderly state of tranquility. So all I'd have to do is fan through and find the missing card was the 5 of clubs. 5 of clubs, it's one in my pocket right here, yeah. And you may not be that impressed right now because you're not right here to see exactly where that card came from or anything. But if what I said were true, after all that shuffling and organizing my thoughts again, that means that the top card should be the Ace of Hearts, right? Because my thoughts are in order, the 2 of Hearts, because my words are in order, the 3 of Hearts, because the cards are in order, the 4 of Hearts. Every single card back in its original order once again. And now we can actually carry on with the regular old magic sets. Whew. All right, you know what? Let's go back to some basics here. We did some kind of weird stuff. So Lindsay did some whole mind reading things and the lattice of coincidence, which is we talk about all the time. I'm going to do something here with someone in the audience. You don't actually have to help out. And let me do this and move over here. How about we get someone? You know what? Is it Talk? I think is that right? Doc, you don't actually have to, you can unmute if you like, but really all I'd like you to do is go ahead and move your arm, shift your arm out of the screen and into mine. Just go ahead and move one arm or the other out of the, yeah, perfect. That's excellent. Good, that'll work right there. Thank you. Perfect, I just need a hand for a moment here. Doc, this is the idea. Old classic of magic. The idea is 3 different size pieces of rope. Now we always, I like to start with the basics here. So talk 3 different size pieces of rope. We have a small one, a medium one, and a long one. And the idea is, of course, if you, I'll move your hand slightly, or made over this way. Good. The small one next to the medium one next to the long one, and the long one next to itself, I guess, right? So all 3, use your imagination, Talk. In fact, everyone imagine what it would look like for all 3 to be the same size. And that would be, there's a good optical illusion. There's small, there's medium, and there's large. Here's the small one right here. Here's the medium one right here. Here's the long one. Good job so far. You're doing well. But a lot of you know this trick. A lot of you have seen this trick. There's some magicians here and at least a lot of magician enthusiasts. So I'll tell you what, I'll get rid of one of these. You only need 2 for this one. Use your imagination again. We'll use 2 pieces for this. Two imagine. In fact, watch, take 1 in each hand, 1 in my hand, 1 in Talk's hand. So I'm going to move you over this way a little bit. I'm just going to move your hand completely here. Oh, this came off of the sleeve here. There we go. And let's move this. Perfect. Sorry to disarm you, Talk. So here's the idea. 1 piece of rope with 2 ends. Use your imagination again, Talk. We're going to tie the 2 ends together in a square knot. Easiest knot you can tie. Right? That's right over left, left over right. Watch the 2 ends, and that's 3 ends. Can't tie a square knot with 3 ends. That'd be a cubed knot, right? All right, watch all 3 ends. Pay no attention to the 4th end. It does not exist. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ends. No, I should have studied forensics. It's honestly the whole reason I do this trick is just for that joke. We'll put the 2 ends down by the middle right here. Here's end number 1 and number, you know what, actually, let's go back to a second when we had 2 pieces. It was easier to keep track of just 2, right? So Talk, I know I've been having you stick your hand out this whole time, and I apologize. Let me go back to a second when we had 1 piece of rope. So Talk, you're going to take these 2 ends of the rope. You'll take the 2 ends of the rope here for me, just like perfect. That was what I was looking for. Take the 2 ends off the rope. which means you have 2 ends and no rope. That means I have an endless rope over here. Now it's just starting to get strange. Because up to this point, it's been perfectly normal. Talk, you have the 2 ends, no rope. I have the endless rope to infinity and beyond. Talk, I'm going to pick up these 2 ends without touching them. Move your arm, your whole body over here. And there we go. And you know what? We'll raise your arm up a little bit higher. Perfect, good. The things we have to do these days, you know. I appreciate you being so disarmable. All right, so 2 ends, 1 rope. I'm going to pick up the 2 ends without touching them. Here's end number 1. There's end number 2. Does that look better to you? Yeah, it looks better to me too if I go like this. Pull it apart one more time. That's 1 piece of rope. And that's back where I started just a moment ago. Haven't figured it out yet, but I wanted to make sure I do at least 1 classic piece of magic in the midst of all this strangeness that we do here. That said, I'm going to go right back to the strange right now. Anyone know what the first rule of magic is? Well, I see a lot of people shaking their hands. Yes, yeah. Never reveal the secret, right? And why? Well, because we don't want you to be disappointed. That's really what the answer is. Because if you think about it, as soon as you know the secret to a trick, you know the answer to a puzzle, right? It's the magic is gone. It's just a puzzle. Now you know the answer, and the mystery is really lost. The problem is, once in a while, the secret behind the trick is as amazing, if not more amazing, than the actual trick itself. And take, for example, the classic razor swallowing trick. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's based on the East Indian needle mystery, where instead of needles, the magician will take a series of razor blades, right? Actual sharp blades. He'll swallow the razor blades one at a time. He'll then swallow a length of thread, string, dental floss, what have you. He'll then eventually go into some sort of trance or like utter some incantations, and then he'll cough up the thread, and incrementally along that thread will be tied the razor blades. It's disgusting and awesome. Problem is, it's also the most ridiculous explanation for any trick that I've ever heard. So I've teamed up with some friends of mine at the College of Physicians of Philadelphia. This is where Lindsey and I live. We live in Philly, right near the Mutter Museum. College of Physicians. Great museum. If you ever get a chance to come out this way, check it out. Fascinating medical oddities and all that. But we've teamed up to build what's kind of a modern virtual X-ray machine, just to show you exactly how the razor swallowing works. So let's make sure here and get this all situated. And I'm going to load this program in here right now. That should be it.
Jeg cykler her på min vej til der, hvor jeg vil være. Damen kigger på mig og bliver glad. Hun har sjæle, hun rejser sig, giver manden et knus og fortsætter med sit arbejde. Der Sørene, som ligger i fred, til at bygge sted har sit egne charme. Mine arme fatte hende, har aldrig nogensinde kysset en smukker kvinde. Cykler her på min vej til der, hvor jeg vil være. Damen kigger på mig og bliver glad. Hun har sjæle, hun rejser sig, giver manden et knus og fortsætter med sit arbejde. Der Sørene, som ligger i freden, selv at bygges, der har sit egne charme. Mine arme fatte hende, har aldrig nogensinde kysset en smukker kvinde.
That is disgusting. Ugh. Apologies, but that is exactly how the razor swallowing works. Thank you. Well, I'm going to wrap up with one final thing here for you tonight, and that is coming back to that box. Everyone's been keeping an eye on it this whole time, right? Been making sure that it's been there this entire set. It has. I haven't moved near it. And do we remember what came out of the box? Right, a pack of cards. In this case, a pack of cards that was in new deck order. I'm going to give the cards a little more shuffle here, because now that the cards have been broken in, they should not affect the order of my thoughts anymore. So one more little shuffle here. And one more. And you can still, by nodding, you can tell, you can still understand what I'm saying, right? They aren't, the thoughts in the brain and the cards are all disconnected again. Yeah, we're good? Okay, cool. So let's do one more thing here, and that is I'm going to have one more person unmute themselves. By the way, thank you, Tak, for putting up with all that before, having your hand extended. That was awesome. But in my screen, right above Tak is a couple there, Tim Brengle. Oh, and a cat running across the top of your couch. Yes, hi. Would either of you would be able to help me? If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
We're not a couple. This is my dad.
Oh, well, sorry. Fair enough. Hey, you know, I can't even tell this, but you're a couple of lovely humans, so thank you. But I mean, I wasn't even, I thought maybe the cat was someone's, anyway, whatever.
Well, I mean,
don't know where I'm going with this, but we'll have fun with it. But what are your names?
Casey.
Well, I'm
Casey
Tim.
and?
Tim.
And Dad. And what was it?
Dad is good. Tim.
Dad is good. I like it. Dad is good. Dad is good. Casey and Dad. I'll tell you what. I'll have Casey start with this, please. Casey, all I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to have you. It's not a standard pick a card, find a card kind of trick. What we'll do is we're going to go back to the assumptions that I had before. So I'm going to pick a card for you, since you can't really just reach in and pick one. We'll pick the 5 of diamonds. Oh, 5 is the theme today. So 5 of diamonds. But Casey, what I would like you to do is instead of sign your name on it, go ahead and give me a word. Any old word will do. What would you like? Or a name or a number. What would you like me to put
I'm
on
going to
the
go
card?
with kitten.
Kitten. I love it. And very apropos, since that was what just ran across the top of
We have 2 of them running around.
You do? Yeah, Lindsay and I have two cats. I don't know if, did Pi make it onto the set earlier today? No. He usually does. But we have Pi Wacket and Salem.
That's adorable.
It's a theme going here. So Kitten, written right across the 5 of diamonds for Casey and Dad. I'm going to place this about halfway down in the deck. It's not going to stay there, though. In fact, your card is going to disappear from the deck and reappear inside the box.
Oh, I'm excited now.
In fact, it already has. Did you see it? Did anyone see
I didn't.
Oh, so Dad, where's the box?
It's to my left, your right.
To your left, my right. Correct. Okay. And also, just as importantly, is where's the pack of cards?
In your right hand.
In my right hand. You're doing great so far. So now those are assumptions that you're making though right now, because they're fair assumptions. And I was shuffling the cards earlier, and you saw that as I was shuffling them, my thoughts and my words all became kind of intertwined and all mixed up, right? Right now, that was a safe assumption, but my goal here is to try and challenge assumptions, because that's what we do in a magic show. That's the box. This is the pack of cards. I said the card was going to disappear from the deck and reappear inside the box. The problem is I kind of fibbed to you earlier. That's not a box. That's a stack of wooden planks. Sort of the same principles and properties as a pack of cards. You could pick them up, shuffle them, mix them around just the same way as a pack of cards. But if that's not the box, card folded up, signed inside the box, right here.
I was going to say that must be.
Inside a hollowed out pack of cards that you've been watching this whole time is one playing card.
You're boring. You're a boring magician.
Not only one playing card, that is a card that says kitten on it, I believe. And that would be your card. Thank you so much for participating, and thank all of you for being here tonight. You've been a wonderful audience, the Magic Castle, a virtual audience, albeit it feels like we're all here together. So, and thank you, of course, to Lindsay and to Joe, to Michael, our amazing tech host, and of course, Jack Goldfinger, all the wonderful folks that run the castle. You've been amazing. Thanks again. Have a great night.
Thank you. That was fun. Very good.
Fantastic.
You picked
I am gobsmacked still about the card box thing. I was watching and I'm like, what just happened on this planet? Holy smokes. Well, let me get myself back together and let's bring Lindsey Noel back to the stage here, and maybe Francis will join her, and let's give them another round of applause for being such fantastic performers for us tonight. And certainly all of our thanks go out to Jack Goldfinger and to Michael and the staff at the Magic Castle. My name's Joe Turner. Thank you all for being with us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Darker shame, darling, darker shame. Thank you for all the joy and pain. Picture show, second balcony was the place we'd meet. Second seat, go Dutch treat. You were sweet, darker shame. Darling, darker shame. Save those lies, darling, don't explain. I recall Central Park in fall, how you tore your dress, what a mess. I confess, that's not all. Darker shame, darling, darker shame. Thank you for walks down Lover's Lane. I can see hearts carved on a tree. Let us intertwine for all time. Yours and mine, that was fine. Darker shame, darling, darker shame. Thank you for seeing